doing, Shiloh? Ready for this next great video? Well, hello everybody else. We're out here in the driveway, and this is going to be kind of a show and tell video, where with the sun in the background, the box truck is rather blinding. And I guess good and bad news behind that. Bad news is it'll get to blind somebody else. Good news is it's out of the driveway. Or did I get that backwards? So unfortunately, the grain truck project did not happen with this lovely machine. But a grain truck did happen. Hey, look at that. Nice and red. Matches all the tractors. Or the big tractors. Yes, I found myself a grain truck already set up that was close enough to what I wanted. A few concessions were made. Which I guess we'll start it off and show off some of those great functions and features. Now it is a Ford F700. You really can't see the 700 part. It is a 1986, and it only has 86,000 miles. Yep, that's a big part of why I bought it. Fairly low miles, and it's not a former co-op truck. It's not like it's been a grain truck its whole life. It is a 5 and 2. You can kind of see that up here on the visor. So I'm gonna start it up and kind of show it off. Dump the bed to show off those features. Yeehaw! Here we go. I gotta pick the right key. Yep. Yeah, buddy. Okay, hold it a hot minute. Aha! Oh, yeah, it means the brakes are working. Okay, here we go. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Nobody. Rod Blagojevich. Okay. Come on. This is definitely not a quick getaway vehicle. I think we got it this time, I think. Slowly, I know, I hate revving an engine so fast right off the gun. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, I think we've been running long enough. We got the carburetor filled up. Enough speed to get get it to idle. Okay, I hate running it that fast. Woo, man. Yeah, after the slow start there, it makes me a little worried about when it idled, but it runs fine. I hate doing that start, but when it sits, shoot, it's been here for probably 2 weeks in the driveway. We've done some things in those 2 weeks. We put a new radiator in it, which I guess we can pop the hood and take a gander at that. Changed the oil, greased everything checked out tight. Oh yeah, did I mention it's a gas? I think that carburetor statement gave that away. It has electronic ignition. It's good. It's mid-80s. Everything's nice and tidy. Gotta look into a leak. We've had lots of rain. There's been water collected on top of the air cleaner. It's got a brand new air cleaner, new filters, everything fresh. Fresh antifreeze, like I said, fresh radiator. Yeah, it had a radiator leak. I bought it with radiator problems. Kind of knew that going in, but I figured I could fix the radiator better, or have the radiator fixed better than I could manage getting a bed swapped over. And this is a 370 with a 4-barrel carburetor. Yes, it's a mid-80s machine. It has lovely EGR pumps, or something. It's the early emissions stuff, where they're just trying to pump a bunch of air to dilute the exhaust. Seems kind of flaky, but you know, I guess the government let that fly for an excuse. It has hydraulic brakes, so yes, it is smaller than CDL. I think GVW, if I look at the door, is only 26,000. Oh, 21.5. Okay, so 26 was a little high. Put new front steer tires on it. they're not as common of a size as I'd hope. They're 1020s, or they're 9, or maybe they're 920s. You can put 1020s on it too. They're not as common as the 22.5s on the box truck. Oh, that wasn't too bad. The back tire is pretty good. I think I could tread. Put new steer tires on because they were dry rotting. They had lots of tread left, but the steer tires were dry rotting, and you don't want to blow a steer tire. That's a bad day. So yep, it's a gas, runs good, should be ready to roll with the radiator, oil change, everything. Close the hood. Can't drive anywhere because the box truck is in the way. It's not geared for speed, but it'll get us there. We got the PTO right here, which is great. So that way we can be outside. I gotta engage the pump first before we get out. Okay, pump's going. So we can be outside. I guess I'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. That we can be outside when we dump the bed. Now, the reason why I kind of did this on today is it's not raining. And we're gonna show one little minor detail of not greatness about the roll tarp. As we lift up, well, come on, I'm pulling up on the lever. As we lift up, okay, I think we got the pump to engage. There we go. As we pull up, we're going to see a weird aspect. Yeah, there's that. A waterfall. The roll tarp wasn't installed the best. I don't know if we can see that. But the arch supports. Oh, that's lovely. That's looks like a heifer peeing, except it's water. I'm just shooting out there. Man, that's a waterfall. Didn't think there was that much water up there. The supports for the roll tarp sit below the edge of the boards. So I got to adjust that and move the arches up higher. But at least it has a roll tarp. We got little wood extensions. It's good for, well, I haven't loaded up yet. We're ready to haul grain. But the ground and the crops aren't ready. So we'll dump it a bunch more. We'll show off the scissor hoist. This was a big selling factor. Now, some people like the twin cylinder lifts. I was highly advised to go for a scissor hoist, supposedly because it won't let the bed twist. I've heard different reports on the twin cylinder lifts. Frame's fairly clean for the age. It's not perfect, hasn't been repainted, say it's fairly original. I guess we can put the bed down now. I think most of the water has drained out. Maybe I'll tip it high enough so we can see the very top. There it goes. Maybe we can see what I mean up there. You can see where the extensions are. You can see the arch. At the very edge there's slack because the hoops are not high enough, which looks like those could be repositioned. They're just bolted in right there with those two carriage bolts. And I've got plenty of material to make more or new hoops. Like how we have hoops on top of the old grain truck, I could make hoops like that for this truck very conveniently. So yes, the roll tarp is great. I'm disappointed it gets filled with water. I need to give that some support. Now that we washed everything off, we'll go to put the bed back down. Let's see what else. 5 and 2, got spring suspension seats. Interior of the cab is fairly clean. I mean, it's not all ripped up or mouse eaten. I could probably take a rag and some water and wash it up. Let's see, we're coming down, and yep, okay, we got it locked. Guess we can shove the clutch in with our hand. Push down the knob. I don't like just shoving it down with it still engaged. It creates a little excess pressure on the cables. They're not rods, they're cables. Don't have a hitch, but I do have a start to a hitch over here. I was at an auction and came up with a Ford truck hitch, which amazingly enough, a 3/4 ton frame is wider than the frame on this truck. Oh, we got a fuel tank that's fairly common, flat mirrors, I guess I could put some of them wide angle mirrors. It doesn't have those. Exhaust out the bottom, which probably isn't factory because there is no catalytic converter. Another new tire. Now there are some imperfections in the paint, but seeing as it's 32 years old, I'll let it have that. Mostly it hasn't been wrecked or messed up or ripped or welded or hillbilly patched back together. What I don't understand is this paint coming off. Makes me wonder if this door is or is not original to this truck. I see some blue coming through. However, it's red everywhere, so they either did a really good job of repainting the whole door, or it's got some sort of odd undercoating below the paint. I don't know. So I think this has pretty well been the new red grain truck. I said hydraulic brakes, windshield wipers work. That's an important feature. All the lights work. It has a radio. I haven't tried it. The heat works, but the cable for the blend door, see how easily that moves? I could just about blow that back and forth. The cable's broke. But we at least have a fan that puffs air as well as a smoker with COPD does. So it's a little weak, but it has it. Nice wide open spot to put our lunch or something. Whew. I guess we can go ahead and close this down. Yeah, I think the exhaust is it gives it a little bit of throaty action, little growl. There we go, nice and smooth. Whew. Okay, we'll go ahead and shut this down. And if anybody really wants to get away with it, yeah, I know I'm terrible. I guess I'll take the keys with me. Maybe not. Nobody's gonna get away too fast. Even with the 5 and 2, it is geared for having lots of weight in it. I guess we'll go back and we will see the other new addition that everybody's really gonna love, and it'll save me from doing lots of splaining. We're back here at the 1466. Unfortunately, that's not the new thing. It does have, I think I might have showed you guys that it got new front tires. I don't know, that's not the big new thing. Still has the old cab. That's a luxury project being pushed off. Still nothing new, but if we come around, we'll see what's on the forklift of what's new, of what'll save me lots of explaining. So it's yellow. Okay, what's yellow around here? New Holland stuff, because there's not that much Moline around anywhere. And it's not a Claus Lexion. So, what's it look like? It is a 3-row, yep, still 3 rows. The most important feature, it's wide rows. Look how wide that is. Now, maybe you guys don't see the narrow row head on the other chopper, but man, this thing looks fat. Like, fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round. I think they were talking about how wide these rows look on this chopper head, so that we can use 3 rows to chop with next year. Holy cow, we're gonna fill wagons super fast. So maybe I need to be looking for more wagons or something. I don't know if I found any. I've been looking, but we have until next September, which unfortunately you're gonna have to wait until then to see this lovely beast in action. Paint's pretty okay. It has this odd feature of, well, this one's locked up. From what I was told, no, that's connected. This one's supposed to turn. Huh. Okay, so this one is connected to turn, but that one spins freely. I didn't investigate that. I figure it's better than nothing. So when the stocks come rolling in, sometimes they have a tendency to somehow try to get caught down here in this gap. This one spins freely. Ooh! See, now this one does not have a drive shaft running to it. Hopefully you can see that. But that one does. Now this is a New Holland 939. Come over to the serial tag and confirm that. A 939 A3. It's adjustable. Made in Pennsylvania. This is a Ford New Holland, so that puts it after 1985. And our chopper's a mid-70s. So there's 10 years span, age gap roughly. This could also be even up to early 90s. So yes, the head is now much newer than the chopper, but it was on that 1895 that we had taken the belts, or the one main drive belt off to fix our chopper. I mean, a lot of things are the same. You got the same gathering change. It's all adjustable. It's got those lower chains. Those are a different style. Instead of being this big link. Oh shoot, I can't remember the number right now. I had it stuck in my head that it was it's not a 50C. I can't remember what they call that link. But this lower gathering chain is more like a number 60 roller chain instead of these big links. And it also has these lovely claw foot things to help grab and pull the stocks in, which I've heard sometimes this middle row can be challenging because it's not being laid over. It's trying to go straight in, and when you're pulling on a stick straight down, it's not going to work. But those side rows come in at an angle, and so when they're coming at an angle, it's easier to grab and catch the stocks that way versus pulling straight. Other cool features, all of the grease fittings have been routed to these the grease fittings have been routed to an easy access hole on the top. The old head had grease fittings buried back here, if you can see that little access point. Now they have tubes that snake their way up to these access holes. So all the greasing is much easier. I haven't measured, but I'm going to hazard a guess to say our hay head attachment will fit this. When it's raised up, and maybe we can see it now, because we can get to it. Fresher, shiny paint. Okay, right here, these big, giant bolt and washers. That is a conical hole that holds the row units to the auger base. And I should probably measure those at some point if we ever get to making hay silage, because I would much rather make hay silage than bale hay after this terribly wet year. Then we could have less corn to chop, and we wouldn't have to chop as much corn, which would be fantastic. We'll have more corn for grain, which is easier to handle than all the bales of hay. That's a good plan for when I get old and gray and super lazy or something. I'm not old and gray yet, hopefully. So okay, I gotta check that out. Which I guess nobody knows that we have the hay head pickup for one of these because we've never used it. It's sitting in the barn. But what I'm getting to is I'm gonna put this in the corner of the barn until next year. So yeehaw, this is the lovely new 3-row wide New Holland 939 chopper head. I think that's all the new stuff. You saw the grain truck. Someone's going to say it's a little hard starting. Well, when it sits for 2 weeks, the gas will evaporate out of the carburetor. Ooh, anything else? This originally would have came out with like 1915 New Holland choppers, or even maybe up to the 2000 series. But the mounts are all the same, the drive's the same. Just on those bigger choppers, the opening here was wider, and it has been patched together somewhat less professionally than I'd hoped for, but I guess it'll work. Things are solid. I guess when I get the barn cleaned out, I'll show you guys quick back in this in when I get the barn cleaned out. You're going to try to scrape up the floor a little bit. Got to move the chopper, the wagon of roasted beans, and that little bit of hay, and get all the schmutz pushed out the back of the barn. Just hay pieces, dust, and some corn shucks. Well, it's in the barn. It's bright and yellow next to the other chopper. So unfortunately we're gonna have to hold our ponies and wait until next, probably September or so, and we will see this lovely machine out taking all 3 rows. So everybody will be happy. I don't have to explain why we're only doing 2. So we'll be able to do 3 comfortably. At some point I need to be nosy and measure and see how wide the auger base is. If we look on this side, we can see that other bolt right there that holds the auger onto the row units. There's 2 big bolts. And over here, through our stuff, is our hay pickup head right there. And see, it's just got, there's 1 cone, and there's another cone way over here on that side. Probably take a good cleaning with some sort of wire brush to clean the threads up, but as long as those break loose nicely, we could chop hay or wheat if we wanted to, if and when. And we might as well see how clean the barn is. I scraped out the aisleway. I think it's a lot better. It's not perfect. There's still a bit of dust and dirt that I can't get with the bucket loader because the floor wasn't poured that incredibly smoothly. Like you see, this section has this corners rising and the ripples in the floor. It's concrete. It's better than gravel. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Happy farming, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have some field action if it ever dries out.